Oh, hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Average Uninformed. If you guys are sick of Marvel superheroes, don't worry. This week's different. We got some DC superhero stuff for you. This week we are checking out the 5-show series crossover between Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, some other two. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. We'll talk about it. Anyways, grab a drink, sit back, and enjoy. Burned the entire way in and out.
Oh,
I'm assuming that was the gin that came out. I don't need to get into details about that part.
It's okay. It happens. Some people call it diarrhea. I call it number 3.
It's like the missing state between like solids, gases, and liquids, right? It's diarrhea.
That just made me realize that your sphincter is like probably one of the only spots in your body that holds out against solids, liquids, and gases. That is a strong muscle.
Helps other things from getting in too.
They had to take it there. Just had to ruin it.
I don't see how that was ruining it, but all right. Are you keeping this in?
I don't know. By the way, feel free to like talk for a long time during the news because I have barely anything to say about Crisis.
Nice. Yeah, same. I don't know.
That's why I was like, did you go see Underwater? Please say yes.
Oh, I was so upset. I asked Stewart. I was like, yo, let's go watching. He's like, no, I have
Jim.
Over, blah, 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 blah. Can't step out right now.
Jim.
Alternate boyfriend.
How many boyfriends does he have?
2.
And his boyfriend has 2 boyfriends.
Yes. I mean, including each other.
I'm gonna need like a diagram or something to keep track of all this.
It's a square with an X through it.
Wait, so the other 2 guys hook up too?
Wait, okay. It's a square with a line through it.
Okay. Just connecting 2 corners.
It might be more like an N. Yeah. The N might make more sense.
That makes more sense. Or you could just do a straight line and they're just the 2 dots in the middle.
Yeah, but a square is neater. That's not true. A line's way neater.
Yeah, less work too.
Damn it. Whatever. Square fits in an icon better. That's not the point of this.
The point is, your friend, he's a very modern man when it comes to romance.
Yes.
I couldn't do that polyamorous thing.
It's weird to think about, but like, I don't know. Like we went over to this place and like we were hanging out. I think we did a board game night. His boyfriend was there and his other boyfriend was there. And I was like, oh, that's kind of every other day. No big deal. But it's like my roommate was saying like, yeah, that's weird but not as weird because he's already gay. Like it's already a weird situation because it's not a typical situation you would run into on a daily basis because we don't have very many gay friends. But it's like if you...
Why is that, Victor? I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Because but I think if you go I go over to my friend David's house and his girlfriend Jess is there, but then Andrea like
Are
wanders
these
in.
Real people?
No,
okay.
These are not real people.
I don't have to beep out the names. Okay.
But like it'd be super weird if like David and Andrea were like hooking up and then Jessica walked in and then joined in the crew.
Yeah, that is weird. It's also, this is why I can't do it. Let's say you're all watching a movie together and you go up to get popcorn and you come back and your one boyfriend is sitting on the left side of the couch and the other boyfriend is sitting on the right side of the couch. Who do you sit beside? This is a 4-person couch, by the way.
Okay. I was like, in the middle.
Of course, in the middle. But now if you sit directly in the middle, you're too far away from either of them. So you have to choose a side. How do you choose sides, Victor?
I don't.
And how do you choose sides without the person who you didn't choose feeling left out or feeling like, what did I do? They decided to sit over there by Thomas instead of me, old Riley. I'm losing track of all of our fake names.
Well, I was sitting in the middle and you 2 would come over to me because I ain't gay.
Because you're the anchor of this relationship. And that's the other thing too. It's like, what is their relationship? Riley and Thomas, you know, like, do they interact? Do they talk? Do they like, oh yeah.
They probably hang out. But yeah, I don't know.
It's weird.
It is weird, but I am envious of like how casual that relationship is between that in that group.
Yeah, because you can't even make it work with one.
Shut up. Oh, it's like,
I'm sorry. that was a joke, Victor. Okay.
Jeez. Can't help if I'm picky, Josh. Actually, that would probably solve the majority of my problems.
If you went gay?
No. What? Because I think that, well, no. I just need a bunch of partners because, you know, I have one relationship where it's like this person doesn't like this one thing. All right, I'll find someone that does like that one thing that I'm missing.
Yeah, those are called friends, Victor.
No, Josh. Yes, but no, not in this scenario.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
What did I push you towards? I think monogamy is the way to go, at least for me.
Yeah, I get jealous too easily.
Yeah.
Bunch of nerds out there.
Yeah.
Ruining my day.
Because I wouldn't be the one in the middle. I would be like one of the side ones and be like, why are they interested in that guy? I wanted popcorn. I'm not moving.
You know, the solution to that couch problem, get a smaller couch.
Oh, I got an even better one. Don't invite the second boyfriend.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But like, imagine the cuddles.
It's one thing to be like, okay, I have two boyfriends. It's another thing to be like, and we all hang out.
Huh. True.
Because again, if I was in that relationship and I was one of the boyfriends, I'd be like, I don't want to see that guy. It's best if I don't think about it. But again, I suppose that speaks to my...
Yeah, I think you'll be in a different mindset.
Yeah.
Because you'd be like, oh, cool. There's his side piece. I don't know what that means.
And are they on the same level? Like, are they both boyfriends, or is one the boyfriend and one the mistress or masteress?
Is that the
I don't know.
The mister.
The mister.
I'm picturing a guy with a fucking water bottle just misting away.
I'm so confused.
I don't know how we got here.
Yeah,
I don't know why we're staying here. It's like we walked into an empty room at like a conference, but we just decided just to hang out.
And like a meeting starts happening and you're like, do we leave? Or?
Do I contribute in some way? But a topic I don't really understand?
That reminds me of my first day of college. I went to the wrong class.
Wow.
Because...
Casual over here.
Because I don't know how it is in other countries, but we always start with Labor Day being the day off. I forgot about that. So I went to my Monday class, even though it was Tuesday.
Wow.
And so I went in there, and so I'm sitting in class, and the teacher, she's talking about all the rules because it's the first day, right? So they're going over the ground rules, and she's just like, don't ever get up in my class to leave. We have breaks. Just wait till the break, and then you can go to the bathroom or whatever. While I'm lecturing, please don't interrupt by getting up and leaving. And so right after I heard that, I was just realizing I was in the wrong place. And she says that, and I'm like, crap. So I had to stay there until break, which was like an hour later.
Wow.
Yeah.
How embarrassing.
Yeah. It wasn't embarrassing because no one knew. It was only for me. It'd be more embarrassing if I got up and be like, I know what you just said, but I'm in the wrong class. Which probably would have been the better option. But whatever.
Would have been a good laugh.
Yeah. Good times.
Wait, was it like a class you would have had with her later on?
No, it was completely different program.
Oh, right, because the schedules only have the room numbers.
Yeah.
Right. What was the class? Do you remember?
I was taking some sort of architecture stuff, and it was...
Oh, this is...
Yeah, this is like
the
first day of college. Like,
oh, okay. I thought this was like beginning of the year kind of thing. I could have been animation or whatever, but...
No.
Dang,
I don't know.
son.
I think it was like... Not fashion, but it was something that it was like very obvious from the get-go that you're like, this has nothing to do with what I thought this class was going to be.
Yeah, this is supposed to be structural foundation, and she's talking about dresses. All right.
Cool. What? I can't go. Okay. I'll just sit here and draw buildings, I guess.
Here's a rectangle. This one's a square.
Yep.
How long did you take? You took, I remember you took architecture, but like how long were you in that program for?
Not long. I discovered really quickly that it was not for me. it was mostly because I found out the program I was taking, I would never actually be the guy in charge. I would only ever be doing grunt work. And also that meant, so I would have no creative output, and there is no creative output period when you're doing architecture, unless you're designing the building. Mm-hmm. Otherwise it's like every time you draw a window, you have to draw it to code, right? Like you don't. Yeah.
Right.
So everything has to be extremely precise. And I was like, this is not my thing.
That would be right up my alley.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you would love it. But the program I was in, you would never, unless I went on and did like another degree afterwards, I would never be like the project lead on anything.
I was thinking about like drawing the windows, and it's like, oh, imagine hating my job one day. It's like, yep, this window's pretty nice. Definitely gonna jump out of one of these one day. Can't wait. Because
you want to go up and out, right? You don't want to hit the building on the way down.
I kind of want to do like a little twist, so I can give like, I do a 180 as I leave the window and give the fingers.
Give double fingers.
Yeah.
What was that called? Akimbo? Fingers akimbo?
And then like, speaking of Akimbo, did you see that?
The trailer for Guns Akimbo? I did see that trailer.
What'd you think?
It looks bonkers, man.
I've never heard you use that.
You've never heard bonkers?
I've never heard you use it.
Okay. It looks bananas. How's that? Is that a little bit more in my wheelhouse?
Looks pretty wizard.
It does look pretty good.
I'm excited. I'm more excited that we finally get to see that scene where that meme came from.
Right. The Daniel Radcliffe, guns in the air, bear slippers out in the middle of the street.
A little like ragged.
Yeah. Worse for wear, we'll say.
Yeah, I'm excited. I don't know when it's coming out. You remember?
No, I don't remember.
Dang it, Josh.
Sorry.
You're supposed to back me up on this.
Yeah, it looks good though. It's if you haven't seen the trailer, it's like a premise. The premise is there's an internet show where this guy kidnaps people and forces them to kill each other, and Daniel Radcliffe is one of the contestants, basically. He gets guns bolted to his hands.
I don't see how that works.
How it works? What do you mean?
Like the guns are literally bolted through his hand.
Yeah, so does that mean he only has those clips?
Yeah, that's what I assume. I guess they really have to bolt the bottom because like you need that. I'm assuming he can't use the other fingers because it's bolted through it.
Yeah, because they're bolted right through the bone.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway.
Whatever.
Maybe it's probably not the type of movie you have to like really think about.
You gotta turn your brain off, Josh.
No, I wouldn't say that. But I'd say I feel like it's the type of movie where you're not supposed to get caught up in those types of details of what happens to his bones when they bolt the gun to his hand.
Imagine he'd break his hand. It's like, this is going to work. Dang it.
They'd have to break his hand because the bolt's going right through.
Sorry, we've broken too much of his hand.
They must drill first.
No, I'm out. Doesn't the magazine go through that handle part where the gun's bolted?
Yeah, they must have. The guns must have been modded.
Okay, I'm thinking too much about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, it looks good.
Yep, it does.
I love the choices Daniel Radcliffe has made in his career post Harry Potter. Like he always chooses like these ridiculous.
Didn't he play a white supremacist at one point?
Yeah, that movie was good.
Was it?
Yeah.
Shit.
Can't remember what it's called now. Shoot. But yeah, he plays like a skinhead in one movie.
Harry Potter 7. The Reckoning.
Yeah, that's what it was. The Prisoner of Azkaban.
He's the prisoner.
But there's one called Horns where he was like a guy who grew horns out of his head. My favorite one he's done. Oh, I just blanked on the name. I can't remember it, but he plays a farting corpse.
What?
What was that called? Oh, man. Him and Paul Dano were in it. You gonna look it up real quick?
Swiss Army? Swiss Army.
Swiss Army Man. Swiss Army Man. That's what it was called.
Yep. He does look dead in there. Yep.
That movie was so funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to add that to the list. I'm going to screenshot that.
It is so weird. I have already said too much about it. But yeah, he plays a farting corpse in it. It's great. Yeah. Daniel Radcliffe, man.
Yeah. He's interesting career.
I heard he was rumored for Moon Knight at one point.
Whoa.
Would you be down for that? I honestly think he would make a better Wolverine. Because he's like 5'5" or something like that. Real hairy.
Yeah, he's 5'5". We're the same height.
Really?
165 centimeters.
I thought you were taller than 5'5".
I know, I get that a lot. It's got like,
Because you're thin.
it's the good posture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Despite me slouching in this chair right now.
Anyway. Yeah, I think he would make a good Wolverine. But cool. Anyway, do you hear that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are moving to Canada?
No.
Yeah. They renounced their royalty. I was going to say royal
Blood.
jobs.
Royal blood.
Yeah.
They've
renounced
exchanged it.
They did was they found a hobo and took his blood, and now that's flowing through their veins.
But like, it's the one hobo's blood through both of them.
Yeah, they now share the same blood.
They also have half the amount of blood they need.
And AIDS.
And that's why I moved to Canada, because free healthcare. Wait, they have free healthcare over there.
Do they in Britain? I mean, they wouldn't ever have to worry about it. They're millionaires and royalty. Do you think that if there was ever a medical emergency and Prince Harry shows up at the hospital, they would like, we need your insurance, sir. I'm Prince Harry. Still going to need your insurance, love.
Imagine how big of a dick move that would be. It's bleeding out.
Apparently people are pretty ticked that they renounced their duties.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, what does the Queen even do?
They have like public appearance. They're basically celebrities. They're born into they're the original Kardashians.
Wait, where are they moving to in Canada? Wait, either BC or Alberta.
Of course it's BC.
Nailed it. Bunch of hipster nerds.
You know what's weird? I've realized that Vancouver has become the Florida of Canada, in the sense of like anytime there's a weird story, it's always in Vancouver.
I don't know. We got the Edmonton man a few times.
But Vancouver.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, most of the time. But yeah, that's the thing though, is they're moving to Canada, but because they have renounced their royalty, they have to go through the same immigration process as everybody else. They should have moved first. Idiots. But the other thing is, there's like the whole wonder of whether Canada will have to pay for their security, because they have their, whenever they come and visit, they have to have security, right? So we end up paying for that when they come. And it's like, for Prince Harry, it's like $100,000 a day or something like that.
That's more than I make a year.
Right. So the wonder is if we'll have to pay that, but because they renounced their royalty, maybe they'll have to be paid for privately. So sucks to be them.
Are they actually worth that much now?
Yeah, I think they get paid. Like,
hey, you know what? Maybe the whole thing is like all the kids are going to renounce their royalties so that what's her face's son will finally get the chair whenever she leaves.
Maybe.
I've been waiting for this day entire life. She just won't die.
And then he dies of a heart attack 3 days later. It's like that episode of The Twilight Zone where the guy has all his books, and then at the end of the episode, everyone disappears. So he finally has time to read, and then his glasses break.
I haven't seen that episode, but like, that sucks.
Yeah. So how do you feel about Prince Harry of Sussex? Wait, what? Do they have a last name? Because he can't be Prince Harry of Sussex anymore. So is he just of Sussex? Harry of Sussex?
I think it's just Harry.
Like Madonna?
Exactly. Exactly like Madonna. Or Cher. Or Michael Jackson.
Wait, what do you mean like Michael Jackson?
You ever hear people just call him Michael?
Yeah, but his last name is Jackson.
Is it? Is it?
Well, not anymore. He's dead, but
he still has a name, Josh.
Debatable.
True. Yeah, I got that.
I'm just going to assume that you're on board with it, and we'll move on.
Sure. With the weird breakout happening in China right now.
Oh, the coronavirus or whatever?
It's terrible when they say coronavirus. It's like some people are just drinking Coronas over there.
They're big fans of Vin Diesel over there.
It's for the family. Here's some Corona, bro. I licked this one, so now you got the coronavirus. Oh my God.
Oh man.
I feel bad whoever's listening right now, because this podcast kind of started off high and then it dipped.
What are you talking about? It's still golden. Victor, I'm mad because all the games I want to play are delayed, but we don't have to talk about that.
Wait. Oh yeah, I was reading something about that. What were the games? There was one that was really I was a little surprised about.
Last of Us 2.
That's it. That's the one. Is that why you're playing Last of Us 1 right now?
Yeah.
Huh.
I was going to play
the
it.
fix?
Yeah, I was going to play it again. Get reminded of myself of the story before I get into 2. And then I
Man
never
loses
played
daughter, gets angry, adopts another one without her knowing.
Yeah, that's what it's about, right?
That's pretty much it.
I never played the Left Behind side story DLC, so I was going to play that too.
Is that the one you play as Ellie?
I don't know. I'm going to find out.
Oh, wow. You don't know anything about it. Cool.
No. I don't. Yeah, but then like the Avengers A-Day game was delayed.
A-Day. Is that what it's... Oh, just Avengers. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then Final Fantasy VII Remake was delayed.
Oh, wow.
Cyberpunk 2077 was delayed.
Oh, do you read the reason why it was delayed?
Because Keanu... No.
Yeah, Keanu demanded to be released some other time because I got too many things to be playing right now, man. That's not his voice. But apparently it ran poorly on the Xbox and the PlayStation.
It ran because it's too good.
It's too awesome.
So are they delaying it until PS5 comes out?
I have no idea. But I'm assuming like right now when they're trying to play, it just runs like you're constantly in bullet time.
Ooh, that's interesting. That reminds me. Did you ever play Enter the Matrix?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, I don't remember having a good time with that game.
I thought it was pretty dope. It was bonkers, Victor.
It was a PS2 game, right?
Played it on the PC.
Wow. Think you're so cool?
Yeah, I do.
That makes sense. You have a terrible ego.
Oh, don't I know it? Patrick Stewart apparently met with Kevin Feige about Charles Xavier. Yeah. And he
wants to play a crippled version of him. Sorry, a more crippled version of him where he's super old.
Wow. Okay. No, but he basically said that he was done after Logan.
That makes sense.
But he had like a long conversation with Kevin Feige. So I find it more interesting that Kevin Feige's talking with him at all, because it kind of implies that of like the age that they're going for with the X-Men.
Wait a minute.
Like if you're going after like an 80-year-old guy to play Xavier, like what do you...
You think that's what they're... Or is it like... Do we know he's going after him for Xavier?
I mean, all I had was the quotes from Stewart who said, I talked with Kevin Feige recently, and then he talked about deciding to not do Xavier again after watching Logan with Hugh Jackman. So putting two and two together, you assume he would be talking to him about Xavier. Yeah. Unless he's talking to him about something else, and the person interviewing him just assumed it was about Xavier and asked, oh, are you playing Charles Xavier again? And then he gave that answer. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. That's a confusing answer to a question that I'm not. Yeah. It's hard to pull. It's hard to like assume the question based off that answer.
Yeah. But I don't know. The website I was reading it from didn't have the original interviewer's questions, but
I'm hoping they do like a younger Xavier so that we can have the X-Men team. Because I want Xavier to be like the guy that's in the field sometimes.
Yeah,
I basically want Xavier from the X-Men TV show.
With the hover chair?
That'd be cool, but yes. But he's still young enough in that show that he's not.
Yeah, useless. Like he should be in his 40s or something like that. Yeah. Like not 80. And then you can like, I think that you should have the first X-Men team should be teens. And then they can grow up. And like, that's the whole point is because you're doing a trilogy of movies or whatever, I assume you can watch them grow up.
And then hopefully by like the third movie, you can have the new X-Men,
the New Mutants.
Right.
Anyway, so that's what happened there. Speaking of Sir Pat, did you see today that he asked Whoopi Goldberg to come and play Guinan for season 2 of Picard?
Wait, has Picard aired already?
I think it started airing this week.
Son of a bitch.
I have not seen it. I'm going to check it out though.
Where is it on?
What is it on?
Yeah.
CBS All Access.
I guess I'm not watching that show. We've gone so full circle. There are too many streaming services for me to pay for. I guess I won't watch anything.
Yeah.
Have you heard any like reviews about like the impressions on that show?
No, I haven't seen anything for it because all I heard was like Picard airs this week, and then I haven't heard anything since.
Weird. Because like you'd think they'd be pushing that pretty hard. Because like I remember before The Mandalorian came out, they were like just hammering like ads out for The Mandalorian, like Disney Plus. That's all I saw advertisements for that and Jack Ryan.
Well, that's Disney and Amazon for you. This is CBS.
They just don't care about viewership.
No, apparently not. They don't have to, Victor. They have Star Trek.
It's true. People who
That's enough. You know, that's all they need.
honestly, the people who would want to see it will most likely know about it by now.
Right? Yeah.
Kind of a big deal. He's Sir Patrick Stewart, bro.
Sir Pat. Continuing on the Marvel train, Victor, there's a new rumor that the Thunderbolts may be introduced in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Refresh my memory. Who are the Thunderbolts?
So they were a team of supervillains who were posing as superheroes. And they eventually became superheroes themselves, but it was a team made up of bad guys. So different members have been the Beetle, Songbird, Atlas was one of them. He was big. He was one of those size changing guys.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? The Winter Soldier led a team recently, but that was after they reformed.
Gotcha.
Baron Zemo, Ghost. I think Taskmaster was on the team at one point.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So the rumor is that the post credit scene for Black Widow will have General Ross recruiting either Taskmaster or Yelena into the Thunderbolts, if not both. And then Falcon and the Winter Soldier will like have they'll be a team.
Oh, cool.
Like they'll be introduced, and maybe a U.S. agent will be their leader.
They're Captain America.
Yeah.
Also, they released a photo. I think you sent it to me of U.S. agent.
It was just a set pic.
Oh
But yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty good quality though.
Yeah, like it gives a pretty solid view of what he looks like.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of the suit?
I hate the colors,
Okay.
but I like the star. They combine like the star and the A. It looks really cool.
Yeah. I kind of like the costume.
With the
Like
star on the almost like a badge on there is like.
Well, yeah, it's enough. It's combining the comic look of U.S. Agent and the movie Captain America enough that it basically it gives you the impression of just like, oh, that's Cap, but it's not. Something's off, and I think that's kind of like the subtle thing they're trying to do with the character. I think that's the point of the character in general in that show is that it's going to be like, this is your new Captain America, but something's off. He's not Steve Rogers.
Wyatt Russell looks kind of strange with the helmet on. I don't think he has the face for it.
You know, it's weird seeing him with short hair. I don't think I've ever seen him with short hair.
Yeah.
He always has that kind of like hockey hair.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see him in action.
Yeah, like what I was like kind of indifferent to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but with this week with the set pics of that and then the Thunderbolts rumor, I was like, I'm kind of pumped for the show now. I'm ready to see them in action. I like Falcon. I like Winter Soldier. Not two characters that I want to see headlining.
Yeah.
Like they're better as side characters. So we'll see.
We'll see. When's that supposed to?
There's no official release date, but I think it was supposed to be like fall of this year. Definitely this year though.
Yeah.
It'll be in between Black Widow and Eternals. Moving on. Captain Marvel 2 is officially happening. They are negotiating with Megan McDonnell, who wrote WandaVision, to write the script, and the directors are not returning.
I mean, that sounds like a good thing.
Oh, and also, it's going to take place in present day.
Good.
Good?
Good.
I don't like that at all.
Why not?
I think it's just a wasted opportunity. Like just to go from, was it 95 to now, or even further because they're in like 2025 because they skipped years.
Oh wait, so this is gonna be before Endgame?
After Endgame.
Okay. Present
MCU day.
Gotcha.
It just seems like such a waste that like for 30 years nothing happened that was worth seeing on screen.
I'm okay with them not staying in the past. We already thought it was kind of weird that like Black Widow happens before Endgame, you know?
I don't know. I kind of dig that.
I'm okay. Like, I don't really need to know what happened. I'm okay with like moving forward.
Yeah.
Same with like Cap. Like,
see, that's the thing though. Like with Black Widow though, having not seen the movie, it looks like it's not really going to be about her past. Like if it was any other studio, it would be her origin story, right? They would go back and explain everything. They would explain what happened in the Red Room or whatever, and maybe they will in some way in flashback. But it doesn't seem like that's what the movie is about. Which is, in my opinion, that's how you do a prequel. You go back and tell a story, but it's not the story that everyone is already expecting or already has like imagined. You know what I mean? Like, because it's never going to match up to what the audience has imagined.
I mean, there's some stories you can't really avoid or you shouldn't avoid. But yes, I agree.
That being said, I would like to see a Captain Marvel story, like, because they just, even the way they left the first one off, where she's like going to go and find a new home for the Skrulls, like, and Ronan, who has the potential to be a great character, who's once again screwed over in that movie as well as Guardians, to have him be chasing her the entire time, or like have like some go nuts with it, like have like an intergalactic war. It's not going to affect Earth in any way. Like have like the Kree and the Nova Corps and I don't know, like the Badoon or something, that have like this huge war that Captain Marvel's in the middle of.
I guess it'd also be confusing too, because it's like, all right, we've seen her in the past. That's her origin story. We've seen her in present day. I guess next movie we're jumping back again. Like, so there's nothing interesting happening now, kind of thing. You could also use, I don't know. Maybe
I guess you're right. You could flip the perspective.
Yeah, maybe this will like jump back and forth. You know, like maybe we're gonna do present day, but like there's gonna be parts of it that takes place in the past, so that you are caught up on what happened for 30 years.
Yeah, maybe I'm just like the parts of the timeline that are empty. I like those to be filled, I guess. But I get that I realize that I may be a minority in that.
Because then there's also opportunities for like her like stuff happening in her movie to affect stuff that's happening down the line, more closely tied to like, I don't know, Thor, Guardians, Eternals.
Yeah, but at least she'll have that cool haircut. I like that haircut.
I liked her first haircut better.
The 90s.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I got, Victor. Unless you got something to talk about.
Nope, not really.
Actually, you know what? Before we move on, I will also say I'm kind of glad the directors aren't coming back.
Yeah.
Like the directors for the first movie, they did an adequate job, but they also made some decisions where it kind of works for the movie, but doesn't work for the universe. Like with Nick Fury's eye being clawed out by a cat.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Where it's like, okay, it's funny for the movie. Like it fits the movie, but it kind of ruins some things, makes Nick Fury look like a nincompoop.
Yeah.
And in other movies where he's not supposed to look like that.
Yeah. He's supposed to be like that like badass that kind of looms over all the superheroes. Because when he shows up, it's like, oh, okay, this is getting serious because Fury's here.
But then it kind of ruins it because you're like, he got that eye patch because he got a little bit too close to a cat. So it's like stuff like that. Yeah, I'm sure there's other examples. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. It wasn't only the Nick Fury thing, but yeah, they did an adequate job. Oh yeah, they screwed Ronan over again.
I mean, nobody really cares about Ronan.
And that's the other thing too, is like, okay, so is Jude Law going to come back then?
Why though?
Like, I would like to see more of his character now that he's like an out and out antagonist of.
I don't know what happened to him.
Carol. So they fought on the satellite lab thing, and then he crash landed, and he's like, "Come on, now's your chance to prove yourself. Let's have a fist fight." And then she just shoots him, and then she sends him back to the Kree homeworld. And so we're just gonna skip 30 years and forget. Like, so if he's in it, it's like, what has he been doing for the past 30 years that he's now
hanging out in prison?
He was following orders. Like, he's only a bad guy because we're supposed to be on Carol's side. I don't know. So that's my point. There'll be things like that where it's like you've left it for 30 years. That doesn't make sense to me that if he was going to get revenge, he waited 30 years to do it.
I guess.
I don't know. I'm just saying it has to be a clever bit of writing.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to move on but after 30 years, I just decided, fuck it. I want to do something.
I could have moved on, had a wife, some kids, but nah, I'm gonna come screw with you.
In fact, I did have those things, but I said,
my kids are in college now, and I'm bored. I'm an empty nester who's bored.
Got time. I got time on my hands.
So anyway, let's. I think that's it. That's it for me. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Speaking of television, this week we watched the CW Arrowverse crossover Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense because Arrow started way back in 2013?
Are they on their 8th season or something?
Something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And in that time, they've started 4 other shows: Supergirl, Batwoman, Heroes
Flash.
of Tomorrow,
Legends of
Tomorrow, and The Flash.
And Black Lightning.
Oh, right. And Black Lightning. I never hear anything about that show.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
So did you watch any of the shows?
I watched Arrow up till season 5, I think. And then it started to get a bit too repetitive and it got a little bit too dramatic for me. So then I decided I should go watch Flash instead.
And that it's the same thing.
Yeah. Did you watch Flash?
I watched all of them for a while.
Oh, man.
And then it got to the point where it was the same thing for me. It was like, this is really repetitive.
Mm-hmm. Every season being like a new speedster until like, what was it? The 4th season?
Yeah. Just the setup of the season, like to the point where it's like, oh no, there's a new terrible vigilante who's destroying everything we hold dear.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a new character who's your friend. And it's like, well, obviously he's the vigilante. And then like even episode to episode, in every episode of Flash, there is an opening scene and then there's a problem and then they figure out a solution for it and they try it, doesn't work. Then they figure out the real solution for it, but it's too much for one of the characters. And they say, no, I'm not doing this. And they take off. And then one character follows them and convinces them to do it. And they go, yeah, okay. And then they go and do that. And that's the end of the episode. It's every episode. And you know what? It happened in this crossover too.
Yeah, it did.
Ticked me off.
I did like they've done the crossover with Flash and Arrow, and like those have always been like my favorite episodes.
Yes,
because like those two have like such good chemistry. Mm-hmm. It's funny when they switched bodies.
Oh, that was the last one. Yeah, I can't remember what the crossover was called, but
I like that they like poked fun at like how campy the Flash was, and how dark and gloomy Arrow was.
Yeah,
I kind of wish I kept up with that show because I haven't seen Arrow for like 3-4 seasons now. Like a lot has changed.
Yeah.
Same with the Flash.
I haven't watched for maybe 2 years or something like that. Mm-hmm. Like I watched the crossover from last year, but that was it. And
I think the crossover was the only times I ever like really tune in.
But so there was a lot of characters in this. I was just like, who are you? Are you like, is this like a cameo from like something from a long time ago, or are you like a regular on one of the other shows?
Yeah, there's 6 shows worth of characters in this crossover.
Yes,
but only 5 episodes because like Black Lightning is the only one that didn't air on.
That's right.
But I liked his character. I liked when he showed up. I liked his suit's cool, but I don't understand how he keeps that secret identity.
Because you can tell exactly who he is.
Clearly see who it is.
Not to mention, like he has a very unique body type. Mm-hmm. He has like a trapezoid torso.
He's huge.
Yeah. Like how, whatever. Yeah. What did you think of it in general? The crossover. You said the crossovers are usually your favorite thing.
Mm-hmm. This one was pretty good. I'd still say last year's event was cooler. Uh-huh. But this was nice because like it gave me a similar feeling to like the Avengers. Mm-hmm. Because there were so many characters meeting up for the first time or like working together for the first time for me that I've seen on screen. And like I haven't seen Legends of Tomorrow. Okay. Like I know the characters.
It's a pretty campy show. Like it's pretty like it's goofy and it knows it.
Because of this crossover, I'm more curious about that show now. Who's the pyro guy with the fire gun?
Mick Rory. I can't remember his superhero name. I think it's not Pyro. It's
Firestorm.
No, that's another guy. Oh man, I can't remember now. I don't know. They always just call him Mick in the show. So
you failed this podcast, man.
Don't you start? Victor, I hated this.
Really?
Yeah, I was kind of on board, but it's a little bit too epic and grand for what they like budget wise and time wise.
Okay, I was gonna say like they're combining all the Earths. It's as epic as it gets.
Yeah, it's too much. I think they're just trying to do too much, and they kind of fail, in my opinion.
I partially agree with that because this is a movie epic with a television budget
and television like running time. Yeah. Like the one of the main things that tick me off is everything is so rushed through. So Jefferson, Black Lightning shows up. They first introduce him and he comes through, and it's literally like 30 seconds of Pariah going, so there's a multiverse. Your entire family's dead, but we need your help. And he's like, my entire family's dead. And it's like, there's no time. You got to fix this. And it's like, so he doesn't get a moment to like
mourn
or even process like all this information he's just been given.
He's fast.
He's an educator. He should be fine. But it was stuff like that. It was, Oliver dies at the beginning of the first episode. It was handled so quickly. I was like, well, wait, he's dead. And it was just kind of over with. And then the next episode, they just take him to a Lazarus pit and revive him and then go to purgatory. And they make it seem like it's going to be this whole huge thing because they're like, he lost his soul. It's going to be hard for us to get him back. And then he shows up and has someone in a headlock, and Dig just basically goes, I'm your brother, man. And he's like, Dig?
Oh, shit.
And just like, well, that was easy. There's a freebie.
Also, they tied in Lucifer. I didn't know that was connected to this.
I guess so. There's all sorts of cameos. I actually wrote down all the cameos, Victor, that I noticed.
All right, hit me. Likely won't know any of them.
Okay, so did you recognize Knox from Batman 89? It was the very first scene. He was the guy reading the newspaper.
He looks familiar.
Yeah, so do you remember in the Michael Keaton Batman, he was the guy who hung out with Vicky Vale all the time?
No.
Okay.
Did not. Not at all.
Okay, that was him. And then they had scenes from Titans, so Hawk and Robin. Burt Ward played the fatter guy with the dog.
Oh, he was Robin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
was pretty
66.
obvious. The colors was kind of weird. I was like, huh.
Oh, and he says something like, holy rusted metal Batman or something like that.
Holy crimson skies of death, not Batman.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Holy crimson skies of death. Will Wheaton was the guy who was
holding the sign.
Yeah.
Oh, that was him. It didn't sound like him, so I wasn't sure.
Leonard Snart was the voice of the AI on the Wave Rider.
Leonard Snart.
He was not Frozone. Captain Cold.
What happened to him?
He died.
Oh.
Spoilers for Legends of Tomorrow. He dies.
Good.
Yeah. Huntress from Birds of Prey, like the 90s Birds of Prey.
Oh, I was wondering. Yeah, the lady with the weird thing on her. She was the one on the rooftop. She's trying to communicate with someone.
Yeah.
I was wondering who that was.
Her name is Ashley Scott. Fun fact, I went out with an Ashley Scott once. Not her, though. Lucifer from Lucifer. Mm-hmm. John Wesley's Ship playing the Flash from the 90s.
Makes sense.
But he's been there for a long time.
Yeah, it's not even a cameo anymore.
Kevin Conroy from the animated series playing Bruce Wayne.
That's my favorite one so far.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I liked him in that. I mean, it was a little weird. His posture was a little weird because of that little machine he was wearing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one was weird too because like he was so dark, and again, they didn't have enough time to really do it, so it's just like a 180.
Yeah, because when you first see him, it's like, oh, it's Bruce. Cool.
And there's nothing. Like, by the way, I killed everyone.
Yeah, it was like, oh, that took a sharp turn. All right.
He's like, I'm gonna kill Supergirl too.
But why? You can't trust her. Can't trust those immigrants.
I've lost count of all the people I've killed.
Sounds like a poor memory, man.
He's old.
Right.
It's only like 5, but he just has dementia.
Wasn't that crazy though? That like, also can't picture him as Batman because he's so thin.
Mm-hmm.
But like hearing that voice, pretty awesome.
Yeah. Ezra Miller from the DCEU showed up.
100%. He
That was a
stands
weird
out
scene.
like a sore thumb.
I still like his character. Like I like the quirkiness that he plays Barry Allen as.
Yeah.
I think I would have hated it more if he like tried running. It's best that he was just standing still. It came at a weird time
Yeah.
because that was the part I wasn't. Can you explain this to me? What happened? They went to the vanishing point after all the Earths were destroyed. And then they're like, the Speed Force is the answer. And so they went to the Speed Force. And then they had to like go around to all these different memories. Like what was going on there? Besides ripping off Avengers Endgame?
So they got bumped out of the Speed Force. And then the other characters were lost in the Speed Force. So everybody was focusing on memories when they first met so they can go and find them. I was also kind of confused. I may have also been drinking while I was watching this. So
yeah, because there was a bunch of memories where it was like, because there was some where it was characters who weren't involved with the memories. Like Batwoman shows up when Ray and Oliver are like confronting each other, and that I remember watching that scene in the original Arrow.
yeah,
And then like Oliver turns around, he's like, "Who are you?" And she's just there, and I was like, how is this working? I don't understand.
yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Anyway, so in the last episode, they've all combined into one planet.
Yeah.
And then the multiverse spreads again. Is that what they were saying? Like that? Is that what that montage was about at the end?
Yeah, that montage didn't make any sense because they were showing a bunch of these different Earths, and one of them, like, you know, they would show ones with like where the Titans are on. They show ones with
Doom Patrol, Stargirl, Swamp Thing, and there was a Green Lantern one.
I'm pretty sure the Green Lantern ones were just like clips from the movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's dumb. Why? Why would you split them?
Right?
Again.
Because it's like,
I don't know, like this, you made such a big deal out of combining all the Earths, and like you made it seem so cool because it's like, hey, now the Flash and Supergirl and like Black Lightning and all these other people are on the same Earth, same dimension. It's awesome now.
yeah,
But not really, because there's all these other Earths that we kind of had tucked away, but they're new,
yeah.
even though they've had shows before. So they don't affect those shows. I don't know.
It's dumb. It's dumb. It's a dumb thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You read the comics, right?
I got through most of it. The plot was kind of the same for the first 2 episodes.
Was it Arrow? Who was leading the team?
It was like a bunch of randoms. The Monitor just grabbed a bunch of random people.
Sick.
So there was an old Superman.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. I'm not too familiar with DC Comics, so there was a bunch of people I did not know who they were. But Blue Beetle was there for a little bit. Firestorm and Killer Frost
in the show universe?
I don't think so. I think Lex Luthor was there.
Also, I don't like that Lex Luthor.
What? That was my favorite part.
You know why? It's because he reminds me of a guy I used to work with.
Oh, okay.
And I think that they have the same like quirky personality.
He was the saving grace for me. I loved John Cryer.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I was like, this Lex Luthor is delicious. Like he is he just enjoys being evil so much. I just loved it. He had all the best lines too.
Yeah, actually, he's got some pretty good like quips.
Like there was a part in it where Supergirl was like, don't trust this man. If you gave him a knife for dinner, he would stab you in your back with it or something. And he just goes, or your front. I'm not picky. Come on. That's great.
That's pretty good. Trying to find out like what the team was in the comics.
There's a huge roster. There's lots of villains in it too. There's some guys I didn't know who they were, like Psycho Pirate.
That's a wicked name.
He controls people's emotions. It's actually kind of cool. Yeah, there's a bunch of people in it. I haven't finished it. I will say, not loving it.
Oh no?
No.
Huh.
It's an interesting idea, but it's like one of those crossovers where they're trying to tie so many things. Like it's exactly like this too, where they're tying so many things into it that there's no really central character because there's just so many characters.
Gotcha.
for like the last 2 episodes, this felt like it was trying so hard to be Avengers Endgame. Or they were like, people are going to compare this to Avengers Endgame. And they're just like, just lean into it. They're going to compare anyway. Just do the exact same things. So like they go through the Speed Force and they relive all these moments through time. Mm-hmm. Right. And then the Anti-Monitor shows up, looks a little bit like Thanos, and then says, I am destiny incarnate. I am inexorably and inescapable. Why don't you just say you're inevitable, Thanos? Like, come on.
Is that what the Anti-Monitor looked like in the comics?
I think he had a mask on. It could be that later on he looks like that, but where I'm at in the book, he's wearing a mask. Like it's a helmet. The body looks pretty much like that. But so maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. Ball sack for a chin too?
Yeah.
That's why he wears the mask. Because he's butt ugly.
And then, I don't know, maybe the moment played better for you, but Oliver saying to him, you have failed this universe. I was just like, oh.
It's the equivalent of I am Iron Man.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But it's not as good as of a line. I never really loved it when he said, you have failed the city to begin with.
I liked it.
So when he changed it to this universe, I was like, come on.
But he imagined that you have failed this city. And you look around and it's like, we're not anywhere near civilization right now, man.
I get why they had to change it, but I'm just saying, like, he didn't have to say it at all.
Of course he did.
Also, 6 out of the 7 Paragons are in that room. They have to find Paragons because they're the saviors of the universe or whatever. And they're like, let's turn on our detector. And it's like, oh,
y'all here.
We're all here. Who is this guy? Some rando. Okay, well, we'll go get him then.
I don't know. That's kind of like my main complaint about this. It's like, yeah, Paragon's cool, but like, how convenient that they're all just on Earth,
right?
No one from like an alternate Mars. Wait, the Martian.
But he was on Earth.
Okay, yes,
your point still stands. He was in the room with them. I'm pretty sure. Maybe he wasn't.
Or like, I don't know. There's no one from like another planet, a couple galaxies over.
Right?
Yeah. So like the fate of all the multiverse is concentrated in this one dot. Different dimensions, but the one dot.
Yeah.
Kind of strange, but I guess, yes, fine.
That's something the comic did mention, though. I don't think there was Paragons in the comic. I don't remember Paragons, but they did mention like all the craziness that's happening here, that's happening everywhere else. Mm-hmm. So like the story concentrated on Earth, but
gotcha.
There were elements from the book that they lifted right out of it, which I don't think they needed, but like Lila being Harbinger and what's his name? Tom Cavanaugh playing Pariah.
Yeah.
Like those were both pulled right from the comic, but I don't think he needed it. I think.
Yeah. They kind of confused me a little bit.
Yeah. Cause the whole thing with Pariah is that the one in the show was that he let the Anti-Monitor out.
Yeah.
In the show, he was doomed to watch any time something bad happened. But in the comic, for whatever reason, I don't know if it was the same reason or not. I can't remember, but he was doomed to watch Earths die. So anytime that an antimatter wave would come, he'd get transported there to watch the Earth die. And then he'd be transported out at the last second and move to another Earth.
Imagine about like the fourth one. He's like, yeah. Boring.
Well, that's what I kind of thought while I was reading it. I was like, you'd think like you'd grow a little callous to it. Like you'd grow indifferent, but whatever. Yeah. I don't know. I've never seen billions of people die in front of my eyes.
Put yourself in those shoes. Would you care?
Probably not after a while. I feel like I would get pretty apathetic.
Like I feel like that after during the first one, be like, oh, this kind of sucks. There's a lot of people going to be like missing after this.
Yeah, I'd probably mourn it. And then as soon as I get transported to another one, I'm like, what? This again? I can't take this. And then the third one, you're like, seriously? No. And then the fourth one, you're like, okay, there's a pattern. I get it.
It's kind of boring.
Maybe if I don't connect with them emotionally.
Hey, there's a Starbucks over there. I'm going to grab a drink. No one's going to stop me. Just go behind the counter, grab whatever I need. I don't know how to make a coffee. Dang it. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a reasonable punishment.
I get it, but yeah. And then Harbinger, she's just there to kill the Monitor. And that's exactly what happened. So there you go. Anyway, I had a problem with this show. This is my second note, Victor. this is so freaking stupid. Why is Oliver Queen the center of this universe?
It's called the Arrowverse, Josh.
I know. If you think about like all of the people with superpowers, he's just a guy who's really good at shooting arrows.
Correct.
He's the one who saves the universe, becomes the Spectre.
Well, they gotta give him superpowers at some point, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the first episode, he ran out of arrows, so he goes and just starts punching things, failing to punching things.
Why does the fate of the universe always come down to a fist fight?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's something like that. This is a problem with the entire genre, not just this. But it's kind of ridiculous. Like, I get it when it's like small scale, but when it becomes like literally the lives of quadrillions of people, why does it come down to like how hard you can punch someone in their turkey neck?
It's because they're all expecting a street fight, bro.
Yeah. What did you think of Brandon Routh
Playing two characters?
playing Superman?
Not sure.
I liked his Superman.
I liked it, but like there were some parts where it's like, I kind of preferred you as Adam.
I like it. I like him as Adam. He's probably one of my favorite characters in that entire universe. But I liked his Superman so much that I was kind of makes the other guy look a little boring.
Yeah, a little bit.
I was like, I really like this Superman. Made him look tiny too.
Yeah,
because Brandon Routh is huge, and then they padded his suit too. So
they brought attention to that. It's like, oh, damn, you look jacked, man.
Yeah. Also, the other thing, at the end of the show, when they're fighting the Monitor in like an abandoned junkyard, and
is that what it was?
I don't know. It was just some spot where there was no people, and reminded me of X-Men Apocalypse, which is not the movie you want people to remember. Because he looks exactly like Apocalypse.
He kind of does, yeah.
And then everyone is just like, let's get him. But first, wait. First, they have to have like a half-hearted speech about like Oliver. So they all go like, for Oliver. And then it has to cut to each one of the A-list stars. So they all go like, for Oliver, for Oliver, for Oliver. And then they run.
Black Lightning's like, who? Who's Oliver?
Right? He was at his funeral, and I was like, he never even met him. And he even says that to Flash. He's like, I never met. What was it? Green Arrow? Seems like a pretty cool dude, though. Yeah. But anyway, they're all like standing around the Monitor, and he's just like force fielding everything away from him.
Yeah.
And it just looks so dumb. It's just
correct.
They just don't have the budget to do the epicness that they want to.
Yeah, some certain characters you kind of need the budget for.
Yeah. And I mean, you have like 4 different characters just firing guns at him. And it's like, oh, the first 17 bullets didn't work. Maybe the second clip will, like,
oh, her laser eyes aren't working. Let me pump a few bullets in.
Yeah.
See what happens. Yeah,
like if it was me, I would just stop firing. But you don't want to be that guy. Everyone else is fighting. I'm just like, well, there's no point. Okay,
can you imagine?
I just have a Glock.
Every bullet's like, a couple of bucks. Like, shit, this is really racking up on the bill. Normally, I only need like 4 to finish a mission, but this is my 4th clip, man.
I'm gonna head out.
Oh, but at the end. After the funeral, Flash reveals a round table similar to like the Justice League, and then outside they show like they pan away from the building, and it looks just like the
Hall of Justice.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Kind of cool.
You like that?
Yeah. It'd be cooler if they had all the superheroes,
right? Because like they have. Yeah.
Was Batman in the comics?
What's that?
Was Batman in those comics?
In the Crisis? Yeah, he showed up.
Did he play a big part?
He hasn't really so far. But like Batwoman didn't have a part in it either. So
she threw batarangs around. That was kind of neat. She stabbed a dude.
Yeah. So it's like one of those things where it's like bittersweet, where it's like, oh, cool, they're finally doing a Justice League. But then, you kind of look at who they have in their lineup, and it's like, well, these are none of the cool Justice League members. I mean, you have Superman.
Yeah, Flash.
And then that
Martian?
That's true. He was one of the originals, but they don't have Wonder Woman. They have Batwoman instead of Batman, who, like, nothing against Kate.
Yeah.
But Bruce Wayne is just a cooler character because that guy's crazy. There's no Aquaman. Did I mention Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Why haven't they done anything with those characters?
Because they have movies.
But Flash doesn't have a movie. But Superman's had movies.
But they started with Supergirl first, and they were like, I guess we should bring him back.
It didn't take them long, though, to bring him in.
True.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah, there was another one. Tom Welling from Smallville. I don't know why I didn't write that down.
Wow. Casual. You know why? Because he's not Superman. Just some dude on a farm.
Punched Lex Luthor right in the face.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Right in the kisser.
Right in the kisser, pal. Yeah. So
dude's huge.
He is huge, right? And he's only gotten, like, thicker.
Is that the right term to describe someone that's jacked?
I mean, I just meant he was the thicker human being. Like,
thicker?
Like, he's got more mass and volume to him.
Bulk?
I wouldn't say he doesn't look more jacked. He just looks like,
I see.
You know how, like, when you get older, you just kind of get fat, even if you, like, stay the same amount of in shape. Like, you just kind of get thicker.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like, that's why, like, when they de-age people now in movies, they really need to thin them down, because otherwise it's just like, he just looks like a fat version of himself.
They just do that, but they just, instead of CGI, they would just get everyone to wear a corset.
Or when they used to do that, where they would just cast another actor.
How stupid were those times?
Yeah. But overall,
not a fan?
Not really.
That's fair.
They kind of teased that it was going to be this huge thing that everyone was crossing over. And I think Knox was the only surprise for me, was the guy from Batman 89, because all the other ones I had heard about before the episode even aired.
Yeah.
And it technically, like, some of them they weren't even really, like, done for the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Titans and Doom Patrol and Swamp Thing. They just took footage from another show, right? And
or another
threw
movie.
it in. Or a movie. So, yeah, it was just, I felt ripped off. I don't know. It wasn't a great crossover. Didn't really like it.
Yeah, it was a bit. Yeah, I think what you said pretty much sums it up. Like, it's too epic for the budget and the format.
Yeah, you just don't have enough time. Like, what was it? 5 episodes, but they're all like 40 minutes
each. But each episode has to, like, wrap up what happened before the end.
That's right. Wrap up what happened and remind you what happened, because no one can remember what happened.
Also, like, the last 2 episodes air like a month later or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I share the same feeling about this. I liked it, but I've seen better.
I'm glad that they kept Lex Luthor alive, because he was a great character.
Yeah.
Because apparently he died in the show, and then they brought him back for Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Wrap it up there?
I think that's it. I think that's I've said all I wanted to say. I think if people are going to watch it, they've already watched it. Like, if you're a fan of the Arrowverse, you've already seen it. If you're just curious, this is probably not the crossover to dip in.
Yeah.
You dip your toe in.
Oh, and by the way, spoiler alert. Anyways, let us know what you thought if you've seen it, because I don't know. I feel like there's some people that I've talked to people who really enjoyed the crossover, and some people that, like you, only enjoyed it.
No, I know it was dumb, Victor.
There you go. Good enough. Yeah. Leave a comment, and if you want to get in touch with us directly, you can email us at averageuninformed@gmail.com. And talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.